Okay, Khan, Shalom Akim, Kal Halalim Na, Yahaba Shim Yashab Bashir Kal Kudash, a double honest agreements on apostles, Thadi Yashab for the strength, in order to make this video as well. And Shalom once more, man. It's the brother Ratazar Racha Halawaya, Ratazar meaning will or willing, and then Racha meaning spirit, and of course, Ratazar Racha Halawaya meaning praise Yahweh as well. So that's the meaning of my Hebrew name right there. And yeah, let's get on with it, man, because really the influence for this video is just me reading Matthew chapter 15 and then realizing that most Christians as well, because I know I've heard of it in the past, most Christians as well, they've used the reference there where Yahushua said it's not what goes into a man that defileth him, but it's what comes out of his mouth that defiles him. But of course, they take it out of context here, because really what Yahushua was talking about was where I'm gonna read it, but it's where his men were pretty much eating bread with unwashed hands. So of course the Pharisees and I think the scribes as well, they got onto Yahushua saying, why is it that they're doing this? And that's when Yahushua then replied, it's not what goes into a man. Roughly paraphrasing. I'm still read it out. It's not what goes into a man that defileth him, but it's what comes out of his mouth. And then he actually explained it as well to the disciples when they asked him, okay, please explain it to us. So I'm gonna start off with that, because really it's not really talking about, just because Yahushua mentioned that, it does not excuse us. It doesn't excuse Israelites from I think eating detestable meats like pork, and of course animals of which don't split the hooves and eat the cud as well. If you read Leviticus 11, Deuteronomy 14 as well, we can get into that too. But let me focus on this right now. So this is Matthew 15, verse 1. Then I'll read up to about 21 or 22. Probably 21. Yep, 21. Matthew 15, verse 1. Then came to Yahushua scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why did thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. So that's what I mentioned before, because the disciples didn't wash their hands. So the scribes and the Pharisees were getting on to Yahushua saying, why don't you follow the traditions of the elders? They was preaching the law. So we're gonna get some precepts based on that as well, because of the fact that we're saved by the grace of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua, the favor and the mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. So verse 3, Matthew 15 and 3. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of the Most High by your tradition? Because in this case, the Pharisees were hypocrites. Now then read verse 4. For the Most High commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of the Most High of none effect by your tradition. So it says here in verse 7, Ye hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy of you, saying, This people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoureth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. So of course it's still about the intention of the mind being in controversy or in contradiction to what they say from their mouth. Normally what comes out of the mouth tends to be what would please other people. People. That's when the term people pleasers come into play. When you say things obviously just to please the mind or just to keep the situation more calm, you say that. But in raw situations where honesty would actually prevail, everyone's got to be raw and authentic, man, and being real with the facts laid out on the table. So the point is, the Pharisees and scribes, they can be described as people pleasers as well. Saying, yep, you got to follow the law, you got to do this, you got to do that, and obviously criticizing other people when they themselves They got to remove the beam that's out of their own eye. That's a scriptural reference as well. So that's verse 7. Verse 8, this people draweth nigh unto me with their mouth, and honoureth me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. Then came his disciples and said unto him, knowest thou that the Pharisees were offended after they heard this saying? But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. The same way Yahushua also mentioned probably earlier on in the book of Matthew as well, about the fact that if there's any tree that doesn't produce good fruit, it will be hewn down, which means it will be taken down, man. It won't be able to produce fruit anymore. Hence why, all these other camps as well out there who are not teaching the right and 100% truthful doctrine that's supposed to be taught unto really the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because we know the rest of Israel, majority being 2/3, they won't understand it anyway. So that's why we're focusing on the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So I was gonna make a point based on what I just said. Let me read it again. So those trees that are hewn down are on read the camps that don't teach the 100% truth. So that's why it's good to always pray to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Obviously follow your teachers. For us it's the GMS Great Most Apostles, which are the ones who are teaching the 100% truth, teaching, okay, this is the mark of the beast, this is the proper breakdown of these scriptures here, and of course we gain the understanding of it. Now, of course, for those who are gainsayers, which are just people of whom can be described as the adversary as well, they will then try and see little things to then little clinks in the armor, man. They're just gonna try and destroy the doctrine, man, because they're gainsaying. But of course, when 100% comes with lies as well, the 100% truth wins. That's the point. So, the point is, those who teach false doctrine, they will fall, and those who teach 100% truth will rise as well in the kingdom of Yahushua, and their glory will be seen. That's what it talks about in Daniel 12:2, that some will go into everlasting contempt, and some will go into everlasting life. Those who go into everlasting life were the ones teaching the 100% truth as well, that Yahweh Shem Yahushua revealed unto them in spirit, through Harakah Kodash. Alright, let's see this. Verse 14, Matthew 15:14. Let them alone, they be blind leaders for the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Again, deception, man. Let those who teach lies, attract those who are of that nature, to lie. Which really are the 2/3. When they say like attracts like, real attracts real. It all links here, man. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. The leader themselves are blind and the followers are blind. That's the point. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Same thing about the trees that don't produce good fruit. They're going to be hewn down as well. They're going to be demolished. So verse 15, then answered Peter and said unto him, declare unto us this parable. So Peter wanted to, gain the understanding of it. And Yahushua said, are ye also yet without understanding? Because he was saying, because of the fact that the Pharisees and the scribes, they didn't understand what he was saying when he mentioned in verse 11, not that which goeth into the mouth defileth a man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth a man. Again, Christians don't understand that, man. It's because of the simple context of the fact that the disciples didn't wash their hands before they were eating bread. That's the thing. That's simply what it is. And then Yahushua was saying, based on that note, that just because, if you were to put it in today's terms, just because a man doesn't wash their hands and then eat their bread, that doesn't defile him. It's what comes out of his mouth that actually defiles me. That statement is not referring to, okay, yeah, you can eat all meats now, you can eat pork, you can eat all that nonsense. No. It's not talking about that. It's not talking about that at all. It's talking about, in the context here, the disciples not washing their hands, having dirty hands, let's say after days of work in the field or something, and they were hungry, then they will eat bread. Let's say in that type of scenario, in this context here, it's talking about their dirty hands. Just because they eat with dirty hands, it doesn't mean that they're going to be defiled. It's from what comes out of their mouth, man. So that's pretty much the case right there. Right, right, so that's Matthew 15 and 11. Let me get verse 17 when after Peter asked him, okay, declare unto us this parable. So verse 16, and Yahushua said, are ye also yet without understanding? Do ye, Salakia, got some music in the background, some calm music. But anyways, let me read this. Do not ye yet understand that whatsoever entereth in at the mouth goeth into the belly and is cast out into the draught? So of course, you eat something and then it goes out as waste. So verse 18, but those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man. So of course it's kind of like the way the saying where they say people remember the bad things that you do unto them more than the good things that you do unto them. It's kind of like that in this scenario as well, where the words of which you speak will affect people, and how basically in the substance of the words that you give them, in terms of, let's say, of course, if a person is then trying to degrade another person, let's say like a teacher, let's say a teacher in school, for example, for a young vessel like myself, because I'm still going to school as well. But let's say a teacher, an example, let's say Edomite typically against a Jake student, a teacher may have that inward hatred as an Edomite. This is just an example, by the way. And let's say the teacher, every time the Jake tries to answer correctly, and then there's always some kind of snide remark that teacher makes in order to try and degrade the student, man. That type of snide remark would then also that snide remark will also defile that man. That snide remark that he made to that student, that Jake student, this is just an example, would then defile that man, because in the eyes of the other teachers as well who have discernment, they'll then realize, oh, okay, so this is the nature of that man. They'll then start to judge. In fact, we can even get a precept based on that as well, based on the words of which come out of our mouth. So the scriptures also mention about being slow to speak and quick to hear as well. That's a very good life lesson to learn. Because it all links with another precept: be ye wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Wise as serpent is the key part that I want to highlight there as well, man. Of course, we've got to be innocent as doves. We don't want to be foolish and destroy ourselves before the time that was supposed to be dying for Yahushua. What I'm saying is basically we shouldn't make mistakes that will hinder us in this truth before the time that we're supposed to be, making our bodies an actual living sacrifice to Yahushua. Which, when I say actual living sacrifice, I'm talking about when the time where Yahushua demands for us to die for it. That's the point. Which will be another major test for those in this truth, man. Are you willing to die for Yahushua? So that's that point there. But I want to get another precept here. So Matthew 12, about what comes out of your mouth defileth a man. So this is Matthew 12. This is Matthew 12 and 36. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. Yeah, Salakia. So sometimes the words in this book, man, it's like old English. But, it says in Matthew 12 and 36, but I say unto you that every idle word, every single word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. So of course, that time, man. Read Jacob Shaw is going to be a time of great judgment as well, and the final judgment, which is really going to be the mass wipeouts when those nuclear missiles come onto Babylon. Of course, when those nuclear missiles launch as well, that's going to be the final clean out, man. So, and also, even after that as well, as I said in Daniel 12 and verse 2, there's going to be those waking up to everlasting life, and those waking up to everlasting contempt. So, that in itself is also a form of judgment, one could say. But that's really after the mercy of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, because it's like, yeah, forever, for an eternity in the kingdom, you're going to have that everlasting contempt. And I'm talking about the 2/3 here, or which didn't receive this word. And again, that's why we've got to be grateful to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua that we've been given this truth as well. So that's Matthew 12 and 36. That's why we've got to be slow to speak and quick to hear. Now, of course, this is something that actively needs to be practiced. But let's say, you may be in, of course, it has to be practiced when we're with the brotherhood, but you can use the word as well as a practice, so that you can actually strengthen that skill as well. Or speaking slowly, making sure you think before you speak as well. I'm saying this because I myself, I need to obviously develop that trait as well of speaking more, thinking through things prior to even saying things. That's what I say. So, of course, I need to learn that, and for you brothers of whom this may apply to, then you too as well, man. You may be in a workplace, maybe an Edomite may be frustrating you. If you then take a moment, take a deep breath, inhale and exhale as well. Of course, it doesn't have to be, that deep, but take a deep breath, calm down, then think in your head, okay, so this Edomite's got a demon on him, and then if I then let my emotions get the better of me, I might get sacked from this job. Which at the end of the day, yeah, we're just rolling in this vessel right now, because temporarily we know that at the end the jobs are going to be lost anyways because of the MOTB. But let's say for the time being, the current time being that we're in right now, where we've got to deal with the vanities of this life, as well as as I said, the vanities of this life and just the labors of this world. The thing is, we still got to be wise as serpents, man, and innocent as doves. You don't want to just lash out your anger on the Edomite. Remember, it's his kingdom. So we got to wait, be patient until the time comes where Yahushua will allow us to, start whipping the Edomites when the time comes. So, being slow to speak, quick to hear is also reference to patience as one of the virtues that we're supposed to have, one of the traits we should have. So, of course, we develop that over time with prayer, and of course, with situations, we also use it as practice as well. As we're in this world, we can use it as practice in order to develop that strong trait within us to be patient and slow to hear and quick. Slow to speak, quick to hear. So, anyways, I was in Matthew 15. So, verse 18, Matthew 15 and 18, but those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, and blasphemies. They are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. So, of course, that's the point proven right there. Matthew 15 and 20. There are things which defile a man, what comes out of his mouth, but to eat with unwashed hands defileth not a man. So Yahushua was saying, just because a brother is eating with dirty hands, it don't defile him. That's the point. That's the point, man. That brother's going to be cool. He's going to eat that bread, he's going to enjoy it, and then the next day he's going to be lively and, with energy, man. All through the spirit and the mercy of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. It's what comes out of the mouth of a brother of which defileth him. So that's something that we can all learn from here. Because, we all have different situations in life to deal with. So, verse 21, then Yahushua went hence and departed into coast of Tyre, and Zidon. So, of course, that's pretty much the main point there in Matthew 15, where where the point really was in verse 20, where it's not what, just because a brother hasn't washed his hands to eat food, it don't defile him. It's what comes out of his mouth. That's really the main point of the lesson. I'm gonna do like a part 2, maybe even a part 3 as well. But I need to get into Leviticus 11, because that don't excuse us to get to eat detestable meats. Matthew 15 verse 11 does not excuse us from eating detestable meats. The thing is, Yahushua did say he came to fulfill the law, didn't he? So let's get that right now. Matthew 5 and verse 17. Yahushua said here, think not that I am come to destroy the law of the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. That's the point. Let's see verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, and one iota or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. All of the scriptures be fulfilled. That's the point. So the point is in verse 17 actually, where it says he's come to fulfill the law. That's really what it is. So in that case, if Yahushua came to fulfill the law, the law of which is also written in the Old Testament as well. So Christians can't say that, these lot are focusing on the Old Testament, they don't read the New Testament. Well, whereas Christians always focus on the New Testament as if the Old Testament is worthless. You gotta eat the whole roll here, mate. That's the point. You can't add or remove from the word. You have to eat the whole thing. So don't accuse us of being hypocrites when you yourselves, you Christians yourselves, also only focus on the New Testament. And anyways, really, the argument ends where they talk about the name of the Messiah, which is not Jesus. It is not Jesus Christ. It's Yahushua, meaning he delivers. And of course, for those of you who are prideful as well, prideful Christians, it's simple. We could do a simple test. Those of us of which are worshipping Yahweh and Yahushua, we're going to see how you are in the time of trouble. Let your idols go and help you. Let Jesus Christ go and help you. Then we'll see whether Jesus Christ is going to help you in that time. That's a simple test, man. So, of course, if you want to keep in your delusion, keep going. Keep believing in Jesus Christ. And let us keep believing in Yahweh and Yahushua. Anyways, I'm going to do a part 2. So that was Matthew. I'm going to start with Matthew 5 and 17 in the next one. So yeah, Shalom, Kal Halalim La Yahaba Shim Yashab Bashir Kal Kodash, double on the screen some apostles, and Thaudia Shah for the strength in order to make this video as well. And Shalom, Yahaba Shim Yashab Brakatha, it's the brother, Ratazar Rakha Khalawaya.